Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, everybody.
Welcome to the crafting show.
So we got Stampin' Kitty, Rebecca, Carol, Angela, Renee, Diana, Melanie, Deanna, Nikki, Betsy, Carol, Melissa, Fatima.
This is like the...
Yvonne.
Oh,
okay,
why? Why do you always do that?
That's because I was using my computer.
It's
I was using my computer.
now like, it's kind of like tradition to hear you right in the beginning.
Yes, we know.
What's up, peeps? All right. Welcome. We usually don't do lives on Friday, but my world has been kind of crazy, which is good.
Yeah,
and
really good.
We are going to be gone. Well, I'm going to be gone when what we're doing today releases. And I told Sean he could just do a whole bunch of projects, and he didn't. He was like, no. So, all right, guys, welcome to our live. If you are watching this live, it should say live. But if you are watching it after we are live, you can follow along in the chat. Should be off to the right. So if we answer questions, forget to ask the question, that is where you would find it. Also, I'd like to shout out down below all the links, especially to the store we are talking about today, which is Visible Image. They are out of
the United Kingdom or Great Britain.
And not only
England.
Are they amazing, and I love the style of stamps, but their shipping is really a good price.
It really is.
And they've given me a code, which I love them for. It is KKV.
V as in Victor.
15, and I'll get you 15% off, so it kind of offsets that little shipping cost. Yeah. Now, this release is so amazing. I am going to walk you through everything. All the links are down below. I do want to shout out that some of the products I'm using, I do have coupon codes for. So we will be using some Cricut product, that's KK10. We will be using some Arteza products, that's Ken's Kreations 10. We'll be using some Brutus Monroe, which is KK15. Always make sure you use your coupon codes. Use the links down below because that does help support us. Ken's Kreations, which we thank you for.
Yes, thank you very
please
much
ask any questions in caps because Sean is always monitoring the questions. And I just want to thank everyone for everything that they do for us and the support they give us. And we couldn't do this without you. So without further ado,
also need this one. Support our channel, please. With Patreon.
Yeah, support us on Patreon. We have rewards.
Absolutely.
Yes,
that'd be very good.
Okay, so let's go ahead and start. This is the new release that just came out, and this is called the Wonderland release. I've given you a link down below. I am obsessed with this. Definitely check out the link down below because, can you zoom in a bit?
I was just about
to
do
that. Check out the link down below because there is amazing design team that have done some pretty amazing projects with all of these. So let's go ahead and get started. Goodbye, Sean. That's right. Him in that light.
Yeah.
Much better. All right, so we will start. This obviously is Wonderland themed, and it is because it is all Alice in Wonderland. So here is the first set, which is super cute. It is Alice, has her cake and her drink, the key, but I've changed a few since then. I love this because you can move around all the words in all of this collection. So just look at that beautiful set. Now, these are pre-released. They'll actually be released August 1st, so get in line, order, so that way you get them. This is the White Rabbit, and look at that with this clock and all those numbers around him, tick-tock. The hurrier I go, the behinder I get.
I'm late.
This is the Mad Hatter.
Neat.
All the best people are your bunkers. I just love this because you can mix and match all of this stuff.
Yep. Queen
of Hearts. And I love how this one has the card right there.
Yep.
Here we have the Cheshire Cat. And I love this because you have the face. So you could do the face separate because, you know, he disappears and reappears. We're all mad here. We have the little fish. And then the little, you know, you guys can see I've been creating because all my hands are different colors. The caterpillar. The only thing I always remember about him is, who are you? So, which by the way, this is one of my favorite rides at Disneyland, which I'm not an Alice in Wonderland fan, but the actual ride at Disneyland is pretty amazing. And then I love this.
Carmen.
Tweedledee and Tweedledum. Obviously, it's the same one. You have a D hat, a dumb hat. You be you and I'll be me. If it were, was, so, it might be. If it were, would it be. And then it's got the faces, so you can change the faces. So love this one. They also released some cool stencils to go with this set. Dark Hearts, which obviously has the Queen of Hearts with the little skull. We also have the Tea Party, which has obviously the little teacups. Now, before we show you my projects, there is other sets that go very well with this set. So I wanted to show you that. This, which is ahead of our time, obviously goes extremely well because of the clock. You can obviously have Alice above that, looking like she's falling down there, down the hole into the time. You have, of course, the time, but you have the door, because she goes through the door into Wonderland. So that's ahead of our time. This one is somewhere in time because it has the clock and it's shattered and broken. It also has really good sentiments that go along with this. We have the time tunnel, which is great because obviously as she falls down. Count Me In, which has all the numbers. Geometric Maze, which is great because you're lost in Wonderland. And then also the Distorted Chest, which obviously chest because Queen of Hearts is obvious around that chest. So let me show you some projects I made. Once again, you can buy these individual or they actually have a bundled price that you can get everything. And I want to say it's like 68 euros or pounds. And then, of course, you can use still my code, the KKV15. So this is the first card I made. This is with the Mad Hatter. And we will be doing the cards all exactly the same as this. So this was all one layer. It's all colored. So this is all created from the stamp and just different techniques. You can see there, when I hit the light, we have some nice sparkles on there. Delusion paint. And then we, of course, painted our little Mad Hatter. And then, of course, we use just the ha ha ha, but when you open it up, bonkers. So we have this one. I loved making this. I made it last night. Super fun. And then you guys are always telling me now, you guys know my favorite card size is the A2, which is
5.5
by 4.25. But everyone says, oh, you should do 5x7 cards because you have more rooms, and they are correct. This is my Queen of Hearts card. So we have the Queen of Hearts. We have her right there. And you can see, obviously, the difference in size. You can just get a little bit more detail on there, a little bit more. I still am drawn to this size card. I don't know why. I just am. But this was fun to create because I had a lot more. And the reason I did the 5x7 on this is I wanted to capture that stencil with the hearts and the skulls. Now, what I do is, we'll be doing it again today. We're going to create exactly the same style of cards. Because I used illusion paint, we don't get that nice strict line, which I don't really want. I kind of like the distorted, where it kind of goes under the stencil a little bit. So that is what we are creating. I will walk you through all the steps. Yeah, so no, the Mad Hatter was a Mad Hatter and the rabbit was the rabbit, the guy that's always keeping time. So for our project, we're going to be using the Geometric Maze. And the one I'm going to be using for this will be the Cheshire Cat. So the rest of this stuff can go away. I'll put it over just in case people have questions. This project might take a little bit of time just because there is a lot of steps. It is not a hard card to make. It's just because we're not cutting anything, it's all building up on the card. I'm going to be putting down the Ken Oliver craft mat for the first part of this. This is the smaller one. My larger one I cut, unfortunately. By accident. So now the card we will be doing is, once again, my favorite size, which is the 4.25 by 5.5. And we are going to be doing this on watercolor paper because we're doing a lot on this. So I actually use the Arteza watercolor paper. That's a cutter. That's masking tape.
There we go.
Nope, watercolor paper.
Sorry.
There we go. Oh. I said watercolor paper and you bring a trimmer in.
Oh, you pointed to it.
So we use the watercolor because we are adding a lot onto this. So you want to use something that's going to be able to withstand that. So we're going to start with that. And I'm actually using, because they're still available, this is the Tim Holtz Tonic Stamp Platform.
The mini.
It's called the Traveler.
The Traveler.
And it's a great size. I love it. And let's see. So we'll put our card base in there. I will get it ready. I'm using Inka Dinka Doo's embossing. I think they call it Magic or Buddy or something like that. And this just gets rid of static because anytime I'm doing something that I'm going to be doing a lot of coloring on, like I will be on this, instead of just using black ink, I'm going to want to use embossing powder because that way we can add a lot of color, we can mask over it, and it's going to withstand. And I will, oh, you know what? I have to prime my stamps. So if you get a brand new polymer stamp, it's really good to prime your stamps because if you don't, especially if you're using ink, you might not get a good transfer that first time. And I learned that the hard way by always saying, why does my thing never turn out? And it's because I didn't prime my stamps. So I'll just put down a regular piece of, this is just copier paper. And I will put this down because I do want, well, I'll just go ahead and prime them and then I can move them if I need to. So we're going to be using, of course, the kitty cat.
Sorry.
And I think I'm going to do for my sentiment, let's do, where are you? Depends on, let's do that. Where you, let's see.
Where you go.
Let's do where you want to be. Or actually, I'll just do where I'm at here. That's a lot to put on there.
Which one are you doing?
We're all a little mad here. Okay, so all I'm doing on this first set, you guys, is I'm just priming this stamp. So I'll just use my embossing ink. Doesn't matter what ink, you're just getting it, because if not, you might not get a good transfer that first stamp go around. So I'll put that on.
So Marie asks, how long does it take Ken to set up all 4 project video?
How long does it what?
Take for you to get a project video set up?
All day.
All day.
It's a much longer process than people imagine. So
right.
You have to get the projects ready, you have to get your links ready, you have to get everything ready.
Yep.
So let's bring him up a little bit, about right there. And we'll do the we're all mad here. Actually, I'll go up a little bit more. How does that look? Looks good.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so this time we will be embossing, and something is stopping me from going down.
Are you?
Oh, it's just because I'm using watercolor paper. I see. It's a little bit of a thicker paper, which is fine. All right, so I'm going to start with, this is the Brutus Monroe embossing ink. It can be any embossing ink. You just want to make sure it's nice and saturated. A lot of these do offer reinkers. The nice thing about using this or the Misty or any kind of stamp platform is if you feel like you didn't get a good transfer, we can always lift it up and reink it again. Now, you can do this in black. The reason I am doing this with black embossing powder is because I'm using paint and then I'm coloring it. It kind of gives you a barrier. Plus, if we get paint on the embossing, we can kind of scratch it off so the paint, you can get back down to the embossing portion. All right, we're gonna put this off to the side for just a sec while we put embossing powder all over this guy.
Some fine powder.
Definitely had something on there before, so I'm gonna have to clean that up really quick. Even use my embossing buddy. But that's okay. Thanks, Sean. So I'm gonna grab a paintbrush because even with my embossing, I think because I was messing around and doing stuff, we got some powder where we obviously do not want it. And literally all I have to do is take a little bit of a paintbrush. Dry, you do not want it wet.
Do you only need to prep the stamps once?
Yes, at least I only do. And there's a lot of people that don't prep it if you have a stat platform or the Misty, because you can re-stamp in the same spot. So
Renee R, yes, this is the travel size one.
yes, which is essentially if you are, use the Misty. Misty had the regular Misty and then the Misty Mini. And like I said, I will continue to use the Tim Holtz one until they're no longer available, and then I will go back to using the Misty, just because I don't want to use something that is not available to you guys and the frustrations and stuff with that. So normally with my embossing, I think it's the Buddy or the Magic. This isn't part of the...
Marie asks, how long to wait to ink it with black ink after you prime it?
You can do it right away.
Right away.
Most people prime it with black ink, to be honest. So I only primed it with the embossing ink because that's what I was using. If I was going to have stamped this in black, like if this would have been like a black, I wasn't, I would have just primed it with that.
Laura, this is the Cheshire Cat, so yes, it is from Alice in Wonderland.
It's not from Alice in Wonderland, it's from Wonderland.
Just
I don't know if
Wonderland.
we can say Alice in Wonderland.
Yeah.
So I have to make sure I'm not getting rid of any part that's supposed to be there. Since kind of disappointed because my embossing buddy is usually really good. I must have messed it up somehow. Either that or Sean, the traction between us is so electric, we can't help it. All right, that's good enough. Because we're going to be adding a lot of color to this, so. C.
Oui, oui.
You always say C, don't you?
Or we.
All right, so let's go ahead and heat this guy.
New addiction. Dang, you can.
Do you want to go ahead and remove this really quick and clean that off? So I always reheat up my heat tool before I actually apply it. All right, so now we can go ahead and hit this guy, and you'll see it change from powder consistency, and it kind of gets this nice glossy look. Now the stamp sets are a little distressed, so don't worry if, like especially on the Mad Hatter one, the Queen of Hearts, the words are a little bit distressed and they won't be a perfect stamp. That's what it's supposed to look like. Now your card will probably curl up on watercolor paper. It's not a big deal. And then before you're done, you always want to look at it in the light. You'll see if there's any part you missed. And if you want to, you can just kind of hit it again. All right. All right, we're going to put this off to the side. And this here, where's the, oh, you have it, okay. This here is, this one's Brutus Monroe. There's other types out there. This is called just masking paper. Some people use a full sheet of Post-its. All we're doing is because we're painting a background, we need to cover what we just stamped, or obviously the paint will get on it. And this does a great job of covering. And really, you're not looking for like a huge, amazing transfer. You just need to know where to cut it out at. This is all this is for. So we'll go ahead and then I always just take a blank piece of paper and re-stamp this, so this way it does, you have a little bit of ink left on there, and it will get that ink off, so cleaning your stamps is a little bit easier. You know what I think that was? I think it was from this. This is really staticky. Look at that.
Yeah.
I think it's just a brand new thing until I start using it maybe. All right. So we are all done with this stamp set for now. So I can give that to Shawnee and kind of put it away. And now you guys get to see me fussy cut. My favorite thing. So now would be a great time for you guys to ask any questions. Sean can go over stuff because I was going to get my brother Scan and Cut to get this and I forgot that. So, big thing on this is make sure when you fussy cut, even if you're off it a little bit, you do not want to cut right on the black. You'd rather have a little white around your images than go over. So if I was to cut in too much on this black and it doesn't line up, you might get paint on your image, which we can fix. I can show you how to do that. But it's better to get a little bit of that white on the outside versus anything.
Take a dryer sheet could help too.
What?
Get rid of the static.
Yeah, yep. That is a good...
Stephanie just got her platform, loves the size.
What is everyone doing this weekend? I am going to be joining, I think Melody's already there. Lori
Yes,
was on her way.
Melody's in Utah, but she's at a charging station right now.
Fun.
Fun.
I literally get there just for the event, and as soon as the event's done, I turn home.
Turn home.
So everyone kind of went down a little early, and because Sean wasn't going,
No.
I didn't want to do that to you, Shawnee. So I will stay with
Okay.
you as long as I can.
Thanks.
So once again, on this masking, it's okay to have a little white. You don't have to be right on the line. Once again, we would much rather be a little further away than the image than too close to the image.
The cardstock, this paper cardstock that you are using is how many pounds? It's pretty heavy on this one, isn't it? It's
Are you talking about my watercolor or this?
This one. It's 140 pounds.
Yeah.
It's pretty. This is a pretty thick one. And again, it is Arteza.
And the reason why is just because we are going to be using paint, Delusions paint, which is
Great stuff.
it's great stuff. But on a regular paper, you're going to have some issues. So.
Oh, thanks, Jamie. She answered it too.
So all this is doing right now is creating a mask so we're able to put color over it and get that background image right up to our Chester cat.
Oh, thanks, Angela, for answering that. $69.99 for the whole package with discount in US dollars.
Wow. Can't go wrong there.
No, that's pretty good.
You guys, this is a great company. We
Kenny is flying down.
we really enjoyed meeting them at Creativation,
Oh, yeah.
and they were just nice. And I've never seen stamps like this. It's kind of hard to find masculine stamps, even when they do, a release like this. Some people, would make it more cutesy, and this is more kind of whimsical. And so for me, it's awesome to...
The reason you're not using your Scan and Cut is mostly you just kind of forgot to grab it.
I forgot to grab it to get it all in the image and stuff. Plus, I don't want it to be right up on it. Even like this here, I wanted to kind of be a little kooky. All right, so we are set. We can
Kooky
now...
and spooky.
Can you put that back in the package? So now we can go ahead. This masking paper, I should say, has a thing on the back.
You have it over there on your side.
Oh, I'm sorry. And you just want to carefully remove it because it is a very thin paper. I'll need that out still, though. And then you just want to line it up on your embossed image.
How much is shipping?
I haven't looked, to be honest.
It's not that bad.
For coming from where it's coming from, it's not bad at all.
It's like $5. Yeah, Mark and Helen, great people. We enjoy them a lot, and we really want to make sure you guys.
That was my
get
concern
this,
when I met him at Creativation. Was I said I love your stuff, but it's going to be hard for me to have people pay exorbitant shipping cost. And they said, our shipping, we do it at the cheapest rate possible.
I think sometimes they eat the cost a little bit.
I do think they eat the cost. Yep. Okay, so we have our mask image on. So you want to make sure that this is pushed down really good to cover that, because really you're protecting your image here. I really need this, love.
Oh, coming up. Just make sure it's dry.
All right. So here's the one thing on the Ken Maholtz, or this, excuse me, is the Ken Oliver Best Ever Craft Mat. Purple tape does not stick to it.
Nope.
Because of the type of material it is.
Silicone.
Yeah. So we're going to grab the Geometric Maze stencil and position it.
I wonder if it's a real maze.
It is a real maze. There
Like,
was, if you go look at the design team, a lady actually did this one, and it was so cute because she actually has like enter here and exit for the kitty cat.
Oh, sweet.
All right, so I'm just using good old black duct tape. And we want to line this up because this is a perfect fit on this card. So once we have it lined up, we're going to put our black Every time I see black duct tape now, I think of Dexter.
Yeah.
Yep. Isn't that bad?
Yeah.
Oh, thanks, Sean.
Carmen says you're good at fussy cutting. She said she would have cut off the tail.
Cut the tail off? Poor little kitty cat. Can't cut your tail off. Cat need that tail. So once again, it's okay if it's, I could probably get this a little bit closer to the cardstock to maintain the look of this because it is coming up a little bit. But part of this card series is that whimsical kind of look. So if it goes under, that's okay. All right, so now we're going to be using Delusion paint. This is what it looks like. Super thin stuff. We're using crushed grape, funky fuchsia, I don't know.
Probably a lime of some kind. Green.
That rhymed.
Yeah.
Lime of some kind.
Mary, the reason he's using duct tape, the purple tape that we use a lot, or even a painter's tape, because it has a very low sticking, low stick. It doesn't stick at all on this silicone.
No,
it does.
It's very sad.
What it does with using duct tape.
So we have to think of what pattern. So on the pattern on him, I kind of did, you know, colors. This one I went from this way to this way. Maybe I do diagonal? Sure. Why not?
Good roll.
All right, so we're going to do pink, purple, pink, green. So we'll start with the purple. Once again, this is pretty thin stuff.
Tool went to Wales, which is where these guys are from.
Who?
Visual Image.
Oh yeah,
they're from there. They didn't answer you. That's too bad.
What do you mean they didn't answer?
She emailed the company, but they never responded.
All right, so we got our colors. I'm going to start with the purple.
Grape-le.
And this is the crushed grape. And just putting a little bit in, and I'm going to go in to these spaces. And I'm purposely using a brush because I do want it to go under. Because I do kind of want, you know, I know some people when they use stencils, they want that nice clean cut image. I would much rather get a little bit of a, you know, I guess distortion's the best way to say. What do you say, Shawnee?
Mm-hmm.
But this is why we are using that masking paper, is so this way we can actually go right over this cat. And if you lined it up, we should be good.
Yeah.
All right. So we have the purple. I'm going to put that there just in case we need to come back to it. Let's grab... Let's try this style. A little bit of a different style. And we're going to leave a little bit of white in there
Is this a new company? A little new.
It's new to me.
It's new to us, and I'm not sure how long they've been around in UK, but it was the first time we saw them they weren't there last year.
That we are aware of.
I think we would have remembered because they're such a cool booth.
We actually did a live at Creativation when we saw them because I
Yeah.
told Sean, I looked at it and I said,
Right.
Sean, these stamps, and he's like, oh my gosh.
Gotta do it. Love to go visit England and Scotland since that's where my heritage is. My kinship.
You're kinship. You're funny.
Yeah, one of these days we'll get out that way. I'm sure Mark and Helen would love us to come by their shop.
So we're gonna then take this purple brush and go a little bit up into the purple, and it will give us this nice little kind of ombre effect. And I'm probably gonna end with purple because I don't need this much green, which is good.
Just do a little green.
A little green, and then we'll end with purple. So grab the.
These colors are fantastic.
I love Delusion or Diana Reevely. I mean, her colors are so bright and vibrant. That's what I used for Sean Can Grab It. The Mad Hatter was that. He's over here, Shawnee.
Oh, he's on your side.
Yeah, actually for him and the Queen, I used the paint.
Oops, sorry. Diane's great. She's so funny.
We saw her at Creativation, and the first thing she said is, I never sent the markers I told you I was going to send you. And I'll probably say I am, but I won't send them to you. It was really funny.
Yes, no, I probably won't again.
I was like, that's fine. She was like, so hopefully you get them, but don't count on it. And I was like, oh my gosh, I love you.
We were supposed to text her or email her saying, don't forget the pens.
I don't know if I did that.
That's all right. She'll send them if we can remind her.
All right, so I think we're looking good.
Nice.
So these, obviously I'm gonna go. Now what I will do is, I'm gonna remove this, obviously, and then I'm gonna go wash it off really quick. Sean can answer questions, and then we actually have a hair dryer to dry this. I prefer a hair dryer because I don't want it too hot.
Needle burrito.
All right, so I wouldn't touch that for a quick sec. I'm gonna go wash this, Shawnee, and I'll be right back.
Okay.
And the nice thing on their stencils is the duct tape doesn't, I mean, it's made out of pretty good plastic, so I'm not ripping it or anything like that. So some stencils, you gotta be careful with that.
Right.
All right, I'll be right back.
Isle of Man, Bob Dylan's favorite place. Really, I didn't know. I didn't even know the Navy stopped in there. We didn't stop there when I was in the Navy. We stopped in Hawaii, Philippines, Guam, Hong Kong, Thailand, which was my favorite. And we stopped in Dubai, Jubal Ali, Abu Dhabi, and Bahrain and Kuwait. And a quick stop, but we didn't get off the boat at Sri Lanka for some fuel. As you can tell, we were West Coast. He was just using some simple paintbrushes, something similar to this. Probably not, I don't think he used the great angle one, probably more like this here.
What?
You were just wondering what kind of a brush you were using.
I don't worry too much about my brushes, so.
They're cheapies and they work fine.
I got them at Ross.
At Ross.
All right.
Yeah, I was well traveled in the Navy. Got to see some nice places. Again, Thailand was my favorite. Oh.
So I'm actually going to hold this and see how it kind of, oops, it definitely went out of its lines. That's okay. We kind of want that chaotic look in a way. I do turn this is just a hair dryer. I turn it on cool, not warm, and then I'm gonna go on low and hold it like this and start drying it. right, so we'll let that air dry just a few secs.
Yeah, sorry, Mary, I won't be there
What?
at the Cricut event. Mary,
He was invited.
I was invited. I just couldn't
He
go.
just doesn't have time off from work.
Nope.
He would have loved to go. Cricut actually invited him and said, we can't wait to see Sean. And said he won't be there. And they said, oh, well then we don't want you either. No, I'm just kidding. They didn't say that. All right. So the reason I stopped drying it is I am going to add some of my, this is called Sour Lemon. And these are Fun Stamper's Journey Silks. Hi, Auntie Tay.
Oh, hi, Auntie Tay.
Show her my cards I made, Sean.
Oh, yes. Here's the, where did the...
I don't know what you did with my other guy. You better not be ruining him.
Nope, it's right here.
I only spent my entire life making it.
Mad Hatter. Close up. All hand drawn. Or painted, at least, colored. That was A2, and here's a 5x7 card.
Okay, so I am adding, watch out, Sean, this is going to get on that too, because these are pretty messy. So I'm adding the sour lemon onto this, and I just flick it. Kind of think of, the best way to think of this is kind of fingernail polish, Sean, wouldn't you say?
Kind of.
It does make a mess, but that's because it's more about me kind of flicking it really, because I like the chaotic look. You can be more controlled with it, and
I'll have to ask Renee, where is, say, Chalice? I don't even know what that is. Fatima is asking, what are silks?
so silks are from Fun Stamper's Journey. I think Spellbinders has them too. I don't know what they are, but they're this, and then when I dry it, you'll see here they get a almost a metallic sheen to them. So if you actually look on him, do you want to show them him really quick, Sean?
Who's him?
The Mad Hatter, the only card. So that is this stuff here. This is called Sparkle Silk, and you can see on his, there's like a sparkle to him on his background. And that's what we are doing. Now, the reason I'm doing it now while the paint is wet is this will reactivate the paint. So if I was to let this dry and then do it, you'll see that paint kind of reactivate. All right. So,
Chelsea, what are you doing? Watching us? Hurry up, you're hungry.
well,
I told you we'd be there by 6. We still have an hour.
okay, we're going to clean up our mat.
Chelsea's, the one that says Chelsea Beck is my sister. Haven't seen her in a little bit, so we're going to go over to my niece's and have some dinner.
Hey, Chelsea.
Hi, Chelsea.
Big Chelsea.
Big Chelsea, yeah, because there's
There's
also
little Chelsea.
there's little Chelsea as well.
All right, so now that we've cleaned that, we're going to go ahead and use our dryer again and just kind of dry this.
You're going to drink all the alcohol? Oh.
I got it. So we do want that to air dry a little bit, but I can go ahead and do our reveal. So now we can remove the mask.
Looky there. Ta-da!
So we got our background. Now we can really dry it, because if you dry it too much with that mask still on there, your mask can flip up and touch paint, which would not be bueno.
Chelsea is making a card. So this is the process of making a card. Here's one. If you just came in, Chelsea, here's the Mad Hatter that he made. And then the Queen of Hearts. Very cool. It's a lot of fun. You could have been here. Could have been live with us.
All right.
Alrighty.
Now comes my favorite part. So I will try to talk to you guys during this part. I get in the moment when coloring. So we're gonna color. I get asked all the time, can you please show me how you color? So we're gonna show you how to color. I'm gonna be using a combination of Arteza and Zig Real Brush markers. The great thing on these cards is, where's the Chester cat? Okay. They give you kind of an idea of where your shading is and the colors we can use. So I'm gonna start with this and get the colors that I want. And the key to my coloring, if there is such a thing, is I always grab a very bold color and in the same color scheme, a very light color. Because Sean's gonna have to get closer on this. Yep. I always have watercolor paper to do any of my testing, but here we have a nice bold color. And then if you grab a light color kind of in the same color family, it's really easy to blend and get that nice blend look that we're looking for.
Auntie Tay, I'm using Creative or Switcher Studio.
Ooh, Auntie Tay doesn't know about Switcher Studio. She needs to know about it. You need to reach out to Sean. I can give you a link, Auntie Tay. It is amazing for your live videos.
As long as you have Apple products, because it has to be an Apple product for now.
Does it?
Yes.
Oh, well, that's a bummer.
All Apple products. So I have an iPad. This is camera 1, and then our other camera there in front of us. I've done as many as 3 cameras. You can go up to 9, but you have to have really good Wi-Fi to be able to do that. Please bring the Cheshire cart here, please. All right. That was Chelsea asking.
Oh, okay.
Okay. That's going to go anywhere.
You're telling me to do what? Not going anywhere.
And then somebody said, where did you get the sharp pick? That was from...
Oh, that is in the link down below. That's Caesar's sharp pick. So we're going to be using this a lot. This is good to obviously what you saw me do it for, but this is also good if you were to have accidentally colored on your... There's some pieces here like on here because this is embossing powder. If you did color on this and it's paint, you can actually take this end and go over it a little bit and get rid of that paint. So it makes it really nice. All right, so I'm going to start with the cat. I have my test here. Now I normally would let this dry obviously a little bit longer, but because we obviously need to get to a party, we are going to start. I'm going to start with my purples, and how I do it is I start with my dark. Then I do this. So Sean might have to zoom in here.
A little more?
A little more. So for example, let's start with this purple here. So I'm going to start with my dark color, which is right, kind of on the edges.
Bring it down just a hair. There you go. Right there.
Right there?
Yep, that's fine. Okay.
So I'm just going to put a little bit of this darker color kind of along the edges. There's no rhyme or reason, just like so. Then I'm going to take my medium purple right here. And we're working right here, guys. And I'm going to go over the darker color. And what this is doing, because these are kind of a water brush, is it's mixing those colors and picking it up on the tip of this brush. So just like that. Then this is where your sheet comes in. Always, always, always clean the tip of this one because it's going to mix your colors and you don't want... So like I'm going over it.
Bring it back down again. Sorry.
I'm going over it. Thank you. And I want to clean this off every time I do that because it's going to see how it's got the dark shrunk and show that. Okay. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go in circle motions and pick up that other color. Just like so. Cleaning off. And then circle that medium color. Just like so. And you get a nice and right now you guys are, I already know you're all saying, wow, that card is chaotic right now, but once I get it colored in, it will look much better.
Yeah. So the Artezas are also a very good paint or watercolor pen like these are. They are at a little better price.
The reason I'm using mostly the zig on this is, and Sean can show you this in 1 second, but these have a finer tip on them, and these stamps are a little bit more of a finer stamp.
So I'm gonna hold this here for a second here. Let's see.
I need that. Can you show a different one, please? I need that to mix my
go.
colors. Thank you.
I'll do this one. There we go. So you can see how fine point that really is. We're all mad here. Yes, you were asking what were the sentiments. So they are all, which way you go depends on.
I need that. Don't move that.
We're all mad here where you want to be, or the sentiments.
All right, so you guys can keep asking questions. You'll see me, Sean can move the card if I need to, but you'll see me just now. Oh, here's a perfect example. So can you get really tight on this, Sean?
Yep. Yeah.
Right here, it's hard to see, but my paint, let's
We're
see
about
here,
to-
right here. So my paint went over this black part here. I can use this now because that embossing will not go away because it's on that card. I can actually kind of use this to scrape that paint away. There we go. All right, so I am going to continue on. If you guys have questions, Sean can kind of zoom in. I probably am coloring a little faster than I normally would just because I know it's not super exciting to see someone color.
So Chelsea is saying again, Kenny, can you please bring the chest haircut with you? I love it.
You're going to have to entertain us as I get zoned out more
Yes,
when
I
I
know.
color.
So Margaret, he's using again the Zig clean color brush, watercolor on this.
So I'm starting with the deep, deep, deep purple. Once again, you always want to have something to get your color off. So this way, when you're mixing water brush, it will pick up those colors. And I go dark to lightest. Some people start with lightest and then go dark. Depends on what you
We'll
want.
zoom out a little bit. Yeah, it's a little too tight. There we go.
In hindsight, I probably should have used a different color than the purple because some of the purple is running into the cat, but that's okay. So the key to any of this stuff is your lightest color, you guys, is make sure you have something to clean. I cannot stress that enough on cleaning the your marker as you go because you want that lighter color to really pop, but you're picking up darker colors when you're mixing these colors, and that's where most people get a bad blend, and you really want that really light blend because that's showing your shadows.
Oh, bye, Chelsea. We'll see you in a little bit. I think you can take the markers on a plane.
Yeah.
It's just should not be a reason.
Well, they're liquid, so I see why they
Yeah.
would ask that.
Yeah, but
I don't know if I would be able to color on a plane if you hit turbulence. That'd be so sad.
yeah. Can you print on watercolor paper with a printer?
It would have to be a strong printer because this is thick paper.
Yeah.
I think it would get jammed.
Maybe.
I've never attempted it, so I don't know. What's cool about watercolor markers too is they're going to continue to blend as they dry, which is kind of cool.
Taser Travel.
What?
Our Taser Travel person's back from last time, yeah. Oh, nice. That Pam's going to order the Arteza for her granddaughter, who is 10 and is quite an artist.
Oh,
That's
she
wonderful.
will love it.
She will love them.
All right. So now I'm going to start on the his back and stuff. Now, once again, and Sean can show a different stamp set, but what I love about these stamp sets is they kind of show you where the shading is going to be. So for people that are scared of coloring, I get it. I was once there. I still am most times. The scared is because we don't get shading. And people tell you all the time, oh, imagine a lamp, and this lamp is shining on this part, and it's magic. And I'm always like, well, my lamp's not working because I don't get shading. And these stamp sets, so are Art Impressions the same way. They kind of show you where your shading is, which I like.
They should come out with a Beetlejuice theme. That would be pretty cool.
Ooh. I will have to tell them that. They might watch this video. You never know.
They do like to watch. Fatima is asking, as you color, do they stay reactive the entire time, or do they stop blending once they dry?
Nope. If they dry completely, you can actually go back over them and just using the same marker. Can you lock this? It's slowly moving.
Is it? Yes, I can.
Thank you.
Sorry, I just have to get
Just a sec.
to this one.
Sorry, guys. I'm going to
go.
stop for 1 sec because it's going to one shake in my coloring outside the lines, which, you know me, I'd probably throw it away. No, they should be reactive, and you should be able to...
Bye, Kim.
I know. I hate watching people color, I'll be honest. That's why I don't show coloring that much, because to me, coloring to me is kind of a therapeutic for the person doing it. Like, I zone out. I don't even listen to music that much. I just get in my zone and color. But for people watching, especially if you're not entertaining with them, there was one lady I remember on Periscope. Obviously, I don't watch Periscope anymore, but she was so funny because she would talk when she colored, and she would cuss. And people must have complained because she always had a note on her desk that said, I cuss during my Periscope. If that's an issue, don't watch.
Hi, Don.
Do you remember that? Or no?
On which one?
The lady that would cuss during her Periscope, and she wrote that because people were so offended.
If you don't like it, don't watch. Hi, Lisa. Yeah, these come out August 1st?
You can order them now.
Order them now?
Yep, you can order them now, and I had people order them last week when they actually showed it on their channel. And then, of course, she reached out to me and asked me if I wanted to design with a set, and I saw them, and I was like, yeah. And then I showed them with everyone because I thought they were so cool, because who doesn't like Alice in Wonderland? I think Alice in Wonderland, like, seriously, the people that were creating that
Bye, Joanne. Thanks for coming.
cartoon, do you ever wonder, like, were they high when they did that? Like,
we think they were on drugs.
When I go to Disneyland and I go on Mr. Toad's Wild Ride, I literally am like, the Imagineers were on something when they did this ride, because it is out there. Who else has been on that? If Annie Tay's in here, I know she has. She's got to have been.
You think she's still in here?
Mr. Toad's Wild Ride it's just that.
That's bizarre. It's somebody was tripping on acid on that day.
Well, I mean, it follows the movie to its T, but like, you're going and then all of a sudden you're in hell, and then you're in a courtroom, and I don't know. But why I bring that up, sorry, that was a fun tangent, is it's right next to the Chester Cat, right? Yeah. Or, I mean, it's right next to Alice in Wonderland. Okay, so we're starting with the pink. So pink, once again, I have a very dark magenta color that I'm going to go on the outside.
We need to bring it down, if you could.
Of his tail.
Thanks.
I know this is a lot of color, you guys, right now. It's like staring at you. And in hindsight, I probably should have done a different pattern in the background. I think that's what's freaking me out. But my whole point of it was kind of that chaotic.
Mom, Varden didn't know you were on? Oh, that's too bad. We think this
Switcher Studio
doesn't get the word out. But we try to... Did you ever think about doing that other thing? You get the text message yet?
I need to do that.
Yeah. We're looking at something that can give you a text message on when we go live. And then you'll know. Caught up in a movie called Extinction on Netflix.
Ooh, that sounds like not fun.
I'm watching Lost in Space on Netflix. It's interesting. Different from the original. But better than the movie.
I don't think I'm going to like this card. I think it's too chaotic.
What?
I shouldn't have done all of those colors in the background, but that's kind of Alice in Wonderland for you. It's trippy, right?
Of course. Auntie Tay says, yes, sir, I don't like those rides.
Oh, you don't like the dark rides? They're kind of boring. Like, here's the deal. I love Disneyland. Don't get me wrong. I love Disneyland. But Sean and I are more of a Disney California side. And here's the reason why. Is Disneyland side is all about the princesses, all about the dark rides. It's got fun rides. It's got Space Mountain, which I love. It's got Splash Mountain. I guess I like the mountains. I like Matterhorn. But the dark rides, once you've kind of been on them, I don't know. Like even Peter Pan Flight for me is not.
Oh, is Orange the New Black out?
I don't know.
She says she's watching it.
Then yes.
Jessica. I know we were waiting for, what is that, season 5?
Yeah, I think it was supposed to be released the 27th, so yep.
Yeah, they. Karen says, our family all dressed up as Alice in Wonderland for the Disney, Walt Disney Haunted Halloween.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's so fun.
That would be fun.
We loved Halloween. I would probably say Halloween was, in my opinion...
People say this is very relaxing watching you color.
In my opinion, I think Halloween was better than Christmas.
Yeah, it was. I agree.
So I cannot stress enough, you need to always, especially on your very lightest color, you always need to clean your brush. That's how you're going to get those really good highlights.
Yeah, Tite likes the California Adventure too. Of course, my favorite, while in the California area, is Magic Mountain.
No, that's not in the California area, Sean. Magic Mountain is a complete... Oh, you're talking about...
Rides in particular.
Well, but you were talking about the California park. So he's
But the
talking
California
about a
park-
park. He loves Magic Mountain.
Oh, love Magic Mountain.
If we're talking about the California side, which is my favorite, I
Then
could go on
Guardians.
Guardians a bazillion times. Here's
Oh,
the
yeah.
deal: is when they told me they were getting rid of Haunted Man or the Tower of Terror, I almost cried.
Yeah, Cars Land is really cool.
And I was like, no, I need my Tower of Terror. And then I actually wasn't even like excited for Guardians. Then I went on Guardians and I was like, OMG. It is, I didn't think something could be better than the Tower of Terror. Oh, that ride is amazing. And at Halloween, they do Guardians After Dark.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a completely different... Because in Tower of Terror, you would have... It was so long. You had to go through this whole story and that, yes, we get it, it's haunted. Man, Guardians, you just go. Don't you, Sean?
Oh, yeah. Oh, you got that right, man, Tite. The X2 is very crazy.
Is that the one with the fire?
I think so.
Yeah, like you're going and all of a
sit
sudden
kind
there's...
of backwards.
Yeah, and then there's
everything.
fire.
Yeah, there's
You go and it goes... I to Sean's point, Magic Mountain is a lot of fun.
Have I seen the Expanse series on Amazon? I have not.
That's the one with Halle Berry, I think.
The Expanse? I think you're right.
Isn't it?
You will change your mind when you go to Disney World. Each park has a completely different feel. Also went to Disneyland in Paris. Not a huge fan of that. Doesn't feel like Disney. I think I think we both would like to kind of do Disney in Shanghai just to be able to
Oh
get
my
the
god,
Tron.
that park looks amazing.
They've got some pretty cool stuff.
Well, they're
in
bringing
Shanghai.
Tron to the... I mean, that whole ride's coming to Disney World.
I need you to go that way. And then... like
Oh
that.
my gosh, Sean,
I
I
know,
am not
it's-
going to be able to color this way. That's the thing about coloring. I can't really...
I'm sorry.
Well, why can't you move the camera?
I'll
Oh,
try.
you never thought of that, did you?
Kinda can.
Well, you're the one that has to deal with me when I say, my neck's killing me, and you're going to say, why is your neck killing you? I'm going to say, because you had me going all those weird directions. Oh, I'm sorry
Guardian-
your neck's going to kill you.
Yeah.
Me too. Now's the time when Ken gets to have
Sorry
a
about
conversation about himself.
I'm sorry.
Welcome to my life,
I'm
guys.
sorry.
Do you notice that? I want everyone to notice what he does to me. I will have a whole conversation by myself because this guy, and it's not even when we're just doing videos, we will be sitting and watching a movie and I will have an entire conversation with him and I'll say, Sean, what? Did you hear any of that? Nope. Why? I don't know, I was watching my video. Hence why we're in counseling. That is why we're in counseling.
Yeah.
I know, we're actually talking about it right now and we're still not having conversation.
I'm trying to read the questions.
That's an excuse, because
It's
if
a good-
it's something you want to talk about, you'll talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
Do you guys feel sorry for me yet?
Mm-hmm. Oh, it's not with Holly Berry. It's a whole new cast.
Ooh. I knew the one with Holly Berry didn't like do well. Oh, it was on, that one was on CBS or something, Sean.
Which one's that?
Oh,
that's
Holly Berry.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Yes, we did go to Alani. It was very cool.
Alani was amazing.
Yes. Thought about doing the Disney Vacation Club.
We still might.
Still might.
We just need to be able to use it. I'm in. You got to kind of watch. Oh, I'm okay?
Yep, you're fine.
Okay.
Have you guys watched Fuller House?
I love Fuller House. Sean won't watch it.
I've watched a few. They're good. But
He's not a big fan. He wasn't a fan. That wasn't during his time.
I never saw the original. I saw a couple of the originals, but never really watched it.
Yeah, it really wasn't Sean's. Like for me, that was my cup of tea all the way. You have to see if I'm keep moving the paper, Sean. So
Nope, you're still good.
I'm good.
Yep.
Oh my gosh. Who's watching Fuller House?
Jessica Skibicki.
That's my Ray Dunn, Jessica.
Skibicki. I guess that's how you would pronounce that.
I love Fuller House. It's so corny, and I know it's corny, but I think that's why I love it.
It's good to know. I love the NKOTB episode.
Do you know what that means, Sean? He's thinking about it. Come on, Sean, think about it. What do you think that is?
This is on Fuller House.
You don't even need to watch Fuller House to know what NKTOB is.
NKOTB.
Okay, what do you think that is?
Something about is N not?
Nope. New.
Or new Kids on the Block.
There you go, Shawnee. I'm so proud of you. Also not during Sean's time.
No.
Did they have boy bands when you were born, like in the 20s?
I was not born in the 20s.
Oh, sorry.
You have to watch Full House to get Fuller House. This
Yeah,
is true. I mean,
I agree.
I mean, I've seen enough of the other episodes that I know who's who.
I loved Fuller House. Like, that was like, I remember when I was a kid, I was like, why can't my family be like that?
Oh, yes, Barbara. He's using the Zig Clean Color Real Brush. I'll show you a close up here of the actual name here.
Here, I'll get out of your way for a second.
These are what they look like. Okay, you can go back in.
So what's really nice is if you feel like you need some enhancements on shadows, you can just take the dark, like I have this really dark pink here because I really want to get shading in here to show that this is, you know, so I can go in here with the dark one and then just kind of following the same pattern, I'm going to do little circles to blend that into its color. And that gives you this really nice.
Yvonne says you'll have to show us your new done pieces when you've received since the last video, which you haven't received any today.
I did.
Oh, did you? Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there you go. He is doing a wonderful job coloring.
Do you see how that just adding that little bit of darkness in here just kind of gives it
Kind of a shadow effect. Denise is asking, where can I send a picture of something I found today that you might like?
my Facebook page, or if we're friends on Facebook, or some people are texting me. Yes, I've given out my number so I can see done.
Angie Clarkson says she likes watching you color.
Well,
she likes watching people color. I learned so much. Hi from Australia.
Ooh, Australia. I have so many Australia people.
Yeah, we have a lot of Australians.
We?
Well, you. Hi, Jessica Salas.
All right, we just have his feet and his eyes and we're done.
Yay.
Okay, so let's do his feet. So once again, I'm just adding the dark color. Can they see, Sean?
Mm-hmm.
So this is actually the medium color.
Hi, Shizart.
And then, cannot stress it enough, have your thing to color off. And we're going to then just blend.
She says
clean.
It's in Bed Bath & Beyond. This thing she wants to show you.
Oh, must not be redone then.
Yeah, it won't be redone.
But yeah, I mean, not that it has to be redone. But
of course not. It could be something very cool.
Just my mind goes to redone, you know, because that's where I'm at right now.
Yeah, that's where you is.
That's where I'm at in life. I will never be done.
With done.
What?
Barbara says we. He is such a little brat. Yes,
Yep.
we, as in both of you.
Once again, Sean, here, I will prove my point.
Okay.
Sean,
Yes.
can you tell me what you did to get ready for this video?
I got the cameras ready, the lights set ready, even though they were already on because you were using the lights. And then I cleaned up a little bit, got your switcher studio done up and ready, and then did our other.
Are you making it
computer
sound
stuff.
like it is more than what it is compared to
No,
what I do?
You do 100 times more stuff than I do. 100 times more.
All right, and we're done, but we have to do his ears now.
Well, aren't the ears supposed to be white?
No, they're like a very, very pale.
Oh. You have to do his eyes,
gray.
right?
I still have to do his eyes. So they're like a very pale gray. So we'll just. There we go.
Wow. Carmen says that her Arteza brushes shipped really fast. I ordered them the day that you did the video on them and received them 2 days later.
Yeah, they're
Wow,
really, really
that is
fast. Okay, so on his eyes, we are going to be using.
While you're doing that, this is the paper we're using. Oops, I better zoom out a little bit for this. Which I have to zoom out to do that. This is the paper we're using. It's 140 pound watercolor paper.
You guys were all saying, why did he put yellow on there? But now you know.
So, what? Oh, geez.
What? What is the OGs for?
I'll tell you in a second. First, Don says, Ken, when your hand is going off camera, are you dipping the brush in water? No. He is taking color off, so he brushes like this to make sure any other colors that are contaminating it are coming off. So he just dabs it like this. And then Jessica Salas says, I made myself a dill pickle slush and going to make Kool-Aid dill pickles. Try it. P.S. You could add Jolly Ranchers. Interesting. I've had frozen dill pickle juice, which is actually pretty good.
So there's our cat. You can zoom all the way out now, Sean. I'm done coloring. Okay. I could add more color. You can always, of course, you know, do your blending a little bit more if you wanted to, because just to Fatima's point, it will eventually dry all the way. So I don't want you to think you could just always go back and do this. But for the very first few minutes, you can you can go back and add more color. But I really needed to make the yellow pronounced on his eyes because that's pulling in the yellow from the back of that card.
Yeah.
All right, so now we can attach it to our card, which is right here.
Robin says she loves the card. It's perfect for my household.
Well, I supposedly guess it's already been claimed.
Yeah, this has been claimed by my sister. She's here visiting from Tacoma. So my question is, I guess Jackson is working.
I don't
Well,
know.
he works at the YMCA.
Oh, no.
That'll get covered, right? No.
Nope. What is that?
Oh.
Well, I don't like it, so I'm going to cut a new one. You need my cutter, Sean?
Cutter,
Oh, it's just water. It would have been fine. Oh,
Oh.
well, we'll cut a new one.
Oh, just agua. Have y'all seen the mayonnaise ice cream? No.
That doesn't sound good at all.
They showed it on the news today. There are flavors like buffalo wings. Weird.
Who has this ice cream?
I don't know.
That was like when Cold Stone released, remember when they had wasabi ice
Oh
cream?
yeah. It wasn't too
And-
bad.
It wasn't too good.
I got into Dexter on Netflix.
Oh,
Way to go, Patricia. It's a little slow in the beginning, but once it gets going,
season
it
one's,
is-
yeah, all
once
right,
it
but
starts, it's like amazing.
it's so good.
It is amazing.
All right. What do you guys think? It's not my favorite out of the three. It's a little chaotic. I mean, it's okay.
It's very cool.
Hmm.
But
It's going to be one of those ones I have to come back to because sometimes I do a card and so we have, I guess it's fitting. Once I see it with the rest of them, they're supposed to kind of look like this chaoticness. So we got all three cards. We have the Mad Hatter. Okay, it's already growing on me. So we'll get up close. So this is my all-time favorite. I love the way this one turned
That
out.
was really cool. My favorite's the Queen of Hearts. I really like that one.
There is the Queen of Hearts.
5x7 on this one. Sonic has a dill pickle slush? Wow.
And then Chester Cat.
Just,
Now, if you wanted to break up some of this clumpiness, we can add white. Oh, yes. Should we?
what do you mean?
I can add white. Should I add a little white to break it up? Sean's worried. Look at him. He's so worried. It's okay, Shawnee.
Go ahead. I don't know.
He is so worried. He's like, nope, leave it alone, Ken. Leave it alone. All right. So to break up clumpiness like this, you're not going to spray this. That's what he's thinking, is that I'm going to spray it directly
Wow, that
on the
should
card. So what we're going to do,
Here, bring it.
you're going to shake this up.
Go ahead.
I think someone just got on me. Oops, you need to shake it up a little more.
Yes, spray it.
Can you, thank you.
You need a dry one?
I have it dry.
Oh, I did.
We shake that a little more?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is this is why I love watching other YouTubers. I didn't even know this tool existed until, and I think his channel is, he has so much going on, but Kyle Daniels from, I think Kyle's Crafts or Daniel's Crafts,
Daniel's Crafts.
showed me this one time. This is the Tim Holtz, I think it's called the Distress Bladder or something. So what we're gonna do, you're gonna take this is just some of his picket white fences, and we're gonna take this, and just like you're painting, it's gonna get in here, and then we're gonna go in close proximity
Hold on.
and literally just flick it. Now, normally I would have done this. I did this on the Queen card in black, but I had it still masks, so that's how I could get those really far away splats, where this one, what we're gonna have to do is kind of do more controlled splats, because I don't want to get too much, because it can be a little chaotic. Which I guess we could just... Sean, are you so nervous right now?
I don't want you to ruin the card.
So, you could do bigger splats by spraying it, but I am just doing little splats. So literally you can go far back. If you want a really, really big splat on it, you actually can spray right on that and get it really on the tips and then do a whole pew, pew.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Oh, see, Sean's nervous.
You all good?
Yep, we're good. Clean it off.
Gets over everything.
But what that will do is it will break up those pieces. Here. Yeah, it does get over everything. The very first time I did this, I used the color orange and did that, and it got all over my computer, my Cricut Explorer machine, everywhere.
It was terrible.
It was pretty bad. See how it kind of broke up that purple, made it a little less bold on there, lightened up the purple, and did it. Because really what I wanted to do is I really wanted the colors to pop on the cat. And I thought, you know, anywhere else. The other thing you can do is use the sparkle silks. Let me show them this. So this is the sparkle silks. And this I'm not going to flick, but what you do is you put big dollops on here. At first, it's going to look, but it will dry and be more of a sparkle look.
Sparkle.
There we go.
Just in time for your lunch. Hello, Misfit Crafter.
All right, so what do you guys think?
Everybody loves them. Loves it.
Where's my lid for this, Shani?
Mm.
I gave it to you. Did you move it? Sometimes you moved. Oh, well, there goes the card I just made on the floor.
What card? That's not a card. I do not have the cap.
McCoy, you have to have a cap.
Or where'd I put it?
I don't know. I give it to you. Oh, well.
We'll find it.
We will?
Yeah. We'll find it.
If I find it in your area. Look at it now. My stencil is on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, brother. What am I going to do with you, McCoy?
Oh.
Look.
See? I didn't have it.
Look at that. That's so funny. That doesn't go there, Sean. It goes there. That's so funny. I'm sorry, Sean.
That's okay.
I blamed you for a crime you did not commit.
Nope.
So what do you think?
I like it. I can do an overhead.
We're all mad here.
We're all mad here.
So they're kind of fun cards. So I anticipate these selling out quick.
Careful.
Oh, sorry. What's wrong?
It's wet.
Well, why didn't you dry it?
You took the towel. I don't know what you did with it.
Oh, sorry. So check these out. I think they officially come out on the 1st. If you go to the page, it will say it is pre-order. But I've heard some people are already getting a shipment. Here, let's go ahead and remove this.
Okay.
The gray mat so they can see it on that. So it's lots of fun. This, you could do anything with it. You could have your brother scan and cut around the images. We could pop them up from this. I just sometimes like having a card like this that has that nice masking. It's one level. It's a lot of fun. Very, very fun. So if you are a Patreon, you have the chance of winning the 2 over here. I guess this one is already spoken for. Mm-hmm. I'll take them all so they can see it. But make sure you're a Patreon. We'll be doing that drawing this weekend. And, oh, I'm up here now.
We're up here.
And I hope you guys saw a couple of things you didn't know about, didn't realize you could do. masking. I love masking and getting cards like this. And a lot of people always, that's the number one question I get is color. Can you show me how to color? And then how do you mask where you have a background but still have your stamp? Because a lot of people, that does, like when you're looking at something like this, you're like, well, how did you do that and not get the color? Like, is it a, you know, cardstock? It's like, no, you just mask it and
Voila.
voila. So, hope you guys enjoyed it. Go show love to Visible Image. Make sure to use our coupon code. The coupon code actually activates, it tracks for us. So the coupon code gets you a discount, but it also lets them know that we sent you. And I will not be live next week. Remember, I'm leaving Sunday to go to Cricut, so any of my lives will be around the Make-a-thon. The lives, though, will probably be more in the very, very beginning, Ashisha's speech and stuff like that, because the rest of the time I'm classroom helper, so I probably won't be doing lives during that. But if you are going, definitely come up and meet me. I would love to meet anyone down there, and it would be
Don't be
super
afraid.
fun.
Just go up saying, hey, I'm so-and-so. Just let them know who you are.
Why would people be afraid? Am I a big, vicious beast?
No, some people just don't like to do that. Like to just go up and say, hey, I'm
Maybe
so-and-so.
that's just you. They don't like doing that with you.
And you shouldn't. Come on up, say hi.
You're so weird. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I can't believe you just said that. Like we're freaking Brangelina, Angelina Jolie, and Brad Pitt, and people don't want to come up to us. We need a name like that.
Oh, jeez.
We can't say Ken, because that's like Keon. Or it could be... Then Sean is just Sean. I don't know. That won't work. We do have a last name, though. Our last name, if we ever did have babies, is McChess.
McChess.
We took McCoy and Hess, and now it's McChess. And so it's really cute. My best friend Ellie got us a door knocker that says McChess. So it's very cute.
Very cute.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining us. We have to go to a dinner party that now we're going to be late for. Sorry. And I adore all of you. And be looking for a video next week. I do have a video planned. Actually, I will be releasing one about Creativation, so be looking for that.
Yeah,
we're shooting it tomorrow.
So Mary will be there. So Mary, just say, hey, Ken, it's me, Mary. From all your life.
I will forget by then.
No, you won't.
Because I have ADHD problems. So I'll be like, okay, Mary.
That's right.
Mary, quite contrary.
Don't be shy,
That's what I'll say.
There you go.
Shy guy. All right, thanks everyone for joining.
everybody.
Have an amazing day.
Goodbye.
Have a good weekend.
Yes, weekend.